Hello, I'm here with Jordan Barr here with Les Goertz, and we got some training coming up. Les Goertz is the author of the book Not Yet Christian. Can you tell us a bit about the training coming up on April 11th?
Yeah, it's an exciting time for men. We're planning for 100 men, and this is sponsored by the Cedarbrook Men's Ministry. And yeah, it's happening April the 11th. It'll be held at Cedarbrook Church here in Abbotsford, and it's an exciting time. We're looking forward to it.
Awesome. So what's this training going to all involve?
Well, men generally have struggles with sharing their beliefs, sharing their faith with other men, and especially those outside of the community of faith. And it's a difficulty that they have, and so to gain some tools to learn some things that would actually be more effective, that they could actually use to share with. Okay.
All right. So could you be a bit more specific about the training? What are we actually going to learn?
Okay, that's a very good question, because we're going to be talking about questions that we can ask. When you're talking to someone who is a not yet Christian, a man who is a not yet Christian, to be able to ask a question that is non-threatening, that they'll be able to respond to in a good way. For instance, if you ask somebody, a fellow named Tom, Tom, what gives you the most satisfaction in life? It's a good question, and then you can begin to dialogue with that. Another thing you can do is when you're responding to people, when you're responding to men, make sure that you're listening to what they're actually saying. And sometimes when you're really listening carefully, you uncover things that reveal that here's a man who's been hurt by the church, who's been hurt by other Christians, and that's problematic for them. Or you come across somebody and you begin to share with them, and you need to realize that it's not just you involved in this process, that actually God has been involved in initiating this and in making this happen, and He's the one that wants the connection to work well. And men are often defined by who they are, or they're defined by what they work at. And so somebody can be a teacher, somebody can work in a mill, somebody can be a salesperson, a banker, or they're defined by who they are. And when we get to talk with them, we can ask them more about their work and challenges of work. And there's all kinds of avenues that we can get into in uncovering with them what their experience, and move to a spiritual conversation.
All right, Les, so now being a man, I often get mixed up with all the details. Can you just review the key details I need to know here one more time? Yes,
it's April the 11th, and it's being held at Cedarbrook Church. The cost is $35, and when you come, we're going to start at 8:30 in the morning, and we'll finish up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll just be a fun time for men. Now, one of the men just this week, I was talking to him, and I asked him, how are you doing in sharing your faith? And is it being effective and that sort of thing? And he said, actually, I struggle with it. He said, I'm uncomfortable and I don't know what to say. It's awkward. And I just shared some things with him about the seminar, what we're going to be doing, and he said, I want to come and learn. And so he's planning to come to the seminar, which is exciting,
nice.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, well, awesome. Thanks, Les. Really looking forward to it, and we'll see you all out at the training.
Yeah.